Hello again and welcome to another Articulate Outburst podcast. We're going through the old file of the offcuts from album 1, the journey into album 2, the concepts that have been thrown away, the reasons behind them all. I've got to say at the last stream where we looked at the artwork that I'd kind of done on the back of a fag packet, I got quite emotional about that because nobody buys print media anymore, but you go down to my dad's house and he's got the Sunday Times, the Observer magazine, which allowed me to cut out the pieces and bits of paper. And obviously, sadly, he's no longer with us, which kind of like was a little bit of a kind of, I'd forgotten all about this. I didn't know the artwork was in there. I think I'm more kind of, how can I put this, a little bit more, looking through the past with rose-tinted spectacles is, at the time we did that, I don't really think it was going to be as big as it is today. I didn't think I'd be doing a YouTube channel. I didn't think that we'd be playing live gigs. I thought this would be something that we'd just do off the bat, something to wind the missus up about. She hates the band. Shh. She pretends she likes it, but she hates the band. So I'm not really allowed to talk about it in the normal discourse around the kitchen table. So it was quite refreshing really when you came in the other day and you could hear the keys land on the table. I thought, oh, I'm in big trouble here. But on with the story. So this was the concept, completed songs from the file, the book. And again, it's in no particular order. What I do like sometimes is it's some old envelope, and this old envelope has got lyrics on it. And oddly enough, this is really early in the band's history. I kind of put this together as if to say, if we're playing off the bat music and it's not part of the mainstream, and I'm a bit embarrassed about saying it, but I'll do it anyway because it's part of the story. So Cowell and his clan fixing the charts, keeping our music back by using dark arts. It's actually not that bad. Cowell and his clan, no idea about a beat. What's it packaged and clean and nice and neat. I've got nothing against Simon Cowell. He serves a purpose, he knows what he's doing. But I thought it's quite interesting that in probably my fledgling lyrics, I'd turned my ire against mainstream media. So we were probably punker than we thought we were. Then Punk's Here Forever seems a little bit offbeat, but bear with me. Here it is, we've never gone away. We're always here behind the facade. Occasional flurries in the charts. Just back in track now. And something else and something's farts. Obviously struggling to make that rhyme. On we go, doing it for kicks. There's no money in it. This is just one for our, I guess I had to think of a word. Educator on, well, he's not on bass, Matty on something else, so-and-so on drums. And it kind of cascades into something really never originally, it never ever landing as anything. But isn't it good to see that from the archives, from the file, that even in 2019 we had a good idea what we were doing. Anybody out there, obviously it goes without saying, that's the kind of title track of the album and the whole way in which everything is spanned from. Song, that's as far as it ever went. A blank sheet of paper, I think I've repeated it in pink. Never saw the light of day. I don't even know what song is. I don't know what the the quotation marks are. But on we go through the gap. Is there anybody out there? Let's see what we say on this one. So for the rights of man, the good of the individual, progressive bias holds the way, nothing more than the power play. Police are ineffective, again, that lyric, I'd forgotten all about that. No longer hold my fears, of course. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? The quest for truth, controlling speech. Freedom, liberty and privacy are washed away. That's a bit of a change in lyric, we ditched that. Tech firms dance and lead the way. Then just like anybody at the bottom suggests, it goes into a chorus. Oh, hello. On the back of that, it was a bit embarrassing, but I did say plough through it. So I've got the songs into 3 categories. I've got the philosophical, I've got the random, and I've got the evolved. This is the first time I've seen this for at least 3 years. It could be embarrassing, but we'll go through it all. So we've got one more camera, and I've actually put in That's All We Need, which is a lyric, but it's just one more camera now. Anybody out there? Social media, which we've ditched. And I've actually put 1984 in there, which is a little bit strange really, because that's definitely on the second album. So even back in the day, I must have thought, hang on a minute, this is the direction it's going to be going in. I'm just going to move my screen a little bit nearer to me because these headphones are swinging in the wind. Then there's also Get to the Bar. Oh, sorry, this is local but generic section. Get to the Bar, Outcast and Narcissist, which I think I've already said in the Offcuts. Get to the Bar got ditched. Outcast became something else, and Narcissist never evolved. Then we've got the random, and this is interesting because I've got song, cover version, and corridor. Now song, I've just had a blank sheet for, I've just seen that. Cover version, I've got absolutely no idea what that was, unless it was Ayo, Let's Go to do a cover version of a song that people knew. As for corridor, I'm going to have to come back to that when I'm with the educator. I know what that's about, but I kind of need his permission to talk to you a lot about it. That's tickled me pink, that. I thought that might have wriggled off a hook. And then it evolved. I've written down flatwormish. Now, if anyone's not listened to the Flatworms, then I can't swear. They're a great band, a great punk band. Red Hot Sand for me. Flatworms are a great modern punk band. And when I said evolved, I must have thought that we would use them as a kind of template from which to play from. This is funny. I'd forgotten all about this. But there's more to that than meets the eye. And when we're in interviews with the band, I must make a mental note to cover corridor. He's going to hate me for that. Again, another well-worn piece of paper. It's social media. Perhaps I'm going to make a plea for this now. Still think we should make this song. It's a great record. Breathe it in and soak it up. You breathe it in and soak it up. Breathe it in and soak it up. You poison all our lives, but I can't get away from you. You just can't get away from me. I'll obscure your view. I think it's quite interesting because I seem to remember thinking if we ever played it live, then I'd have a torch, something that looked like a phone, to have a kind of a pull and push. Like a pull and push relationship with it. I can't get away from you, you just can't get away from me. And then I'm going to toss it to the side of the stage as a kind of, a little bit of theatrics, if you like. I still think the song sounds good. It's naive by our current standards, but I still think it sounds good. But again, I'll appeal to the band, I'll put it on the wish list. Certainly, let's put it on the B-sides, let's bring out some B-sides, that's what I say. Not all decisions are mine. I already know, looking at this, I must have been sweating. And my fingers have rotted the page in front of me. Yeah, and it's Sticks and Stones. I've got Hate Speech in black and then Sticks and Stones in green. Whenever I see green, I know I'm round at the Educator's house. So let's have a look. Turn the volume down if you can hear this. It's definitely Hate Speech I can't miss. How are you so weak you cannot take this? Well, I've changed that to woke, make it more current. It's not as if I beat you up with my fists. Now then, I remember this being a bit of a mouthful. My words are weapons of a different kind. You have to think about them and use your mind. Your well-intentioned ideas to shut me down. No wonder I dropped that. That is a mouthful. Your well-intentioned ideas to shut me down. For you to say what I say makes you the clown. Well, that's for you to censor me makes you the clown. Your well-intentioned ideas, I think I've got to put that one back in. Shame we already recorded it. I don't know how that got dropped, probably got lost and re-edited. Sticks and Stones. Yeah, and then the rest of the song is pretty much as it was written. I love the old tone strip there, just makes it that little bit more special, a little bit more of the... Perhaps I should have dated some of this, you know. Well, a little bit more CV there. 100% work related. Absolutely nothing to do with the band. Don't really understand why it's even in there. Nothing at all to do with the band. I'll put that over there. More straight white male. It's got an asterisk in corner for some reason. Don't know why that would be. Nobody cares what I say. No one's listening anyway. Yeah. Exactly as it is. Does exactly what it says on the tin. More cock and balls. I won't share your delusion. Yeah, it's exactly the same as we sing it. Sometimes when I've written these things out like that, it's easy to understand language is because I've probably used that while I'm singing to get used to it. So I can read it while I'm singing. I don't have a great retention for lyrics if I've written them. I have a great retention for lyrics for all the best bands in the world. But I don't have a great retention for lyrics for what we've done. I don't know why that is. Anybody out there in printed form? Yeah. Exactly the same as it is. "1984's reappeared here. And obviously I've stolen a load of lyrics from the great man himself, George Orwell, and turned it into our own song. It's an actual word. Who controls the past controls the future, and who controls the present controls the past is 100% Orwell. When I was at school and we were taught about that, I didn't quite understand it, certainly couldn't conceptualise it. And I think sometimes you need a little bit of age with a lot of literature to better understand what it is that someone's trying to tell you. I didn't quite understand what that would mean. If you've got nothing to anchor your past to, i.e. the belief that history is linear as opposed to secular, which I believe it to be, but either way you always think that the past is behind you and the future's in front of you and you are here. If the past is removed, and like Orwell said, in an ever-ending present, then it really does, it kind of takes your back wheels off, for want of a better expression. So I never really grasped it, and I think it's only in the light of the internet era and the censorship of big tech and Christ knows what's going on at university, but there used to be a cauldron of activity that seems to be only singing one song these days. Then I've even quoted as well, which is another Orwell quote, and I believe this is on the BBC building in Manchester. If liberty is to mean anything at all, then it's the right... I've got this wrong. If liberty means anything at all, it's the right to tell people what they don't want to hear. And on here I've put, if liberty is to mean anything at all, it's the right to shout and spew it all up the wall, which is not how Orwell wrote it. It's as if liberty is to mean anything at all, it's the right to tell people what they don't want to hear. That's been forgotten now. I think a lot of news agencies now daren't do that. Seem to sanitise the news for us. We cannot slow this down, it's a runaway. All these lyrics are now changed, by the way. The brakes are off. We're just rowing down a liberated hill. I'm obviously not being at the best there. The internet that once freed us has now become a tool of our oppression. True, but not a great song lyric, in fact, and definitely not a song lyric. What was said, where, when and who, all retained in the data warehouses for who. So, a little bit of a ramble, but within that ramble you can clearly see a song. Now, we play this now, it's not recorded, but we play it live. And I think in future streams, I think you'll understand that although this is very naive, you can see that there was clearly an attempt to do exactly what we've ended up doing. Of course, we thought we could not be tracked. The trivial information, turn info wars, big data, future bollocks, big brother, big data. So, although that's definitely not a song, you can see that there's an embryonic song within it. You really can. Concepts of time sometimes eludes me on these streams, so I kind of figured that this would end the file. I've still got a lot more in this file to go. So what I suggest to do is I'm going to say thanks very much for your support, thanks very much for your ongoing correspondence. If you want to email me, it's info@articulateoutburst.co.uk. I think we can pretty much guarantee there's another stream on the Offcuts, some of the thoughts behind the processes behind the band. I can see quite a lot from album 2 here. So I'm sorry to kind of cut it, what I consider to be short, but after 18 minutes, I'm sick of my own voice, never mind you lot. I'm sure you're sick of me as well. And then I'll get back into how we write songs, because I write 3 or 4 sheets of words that then compresses it down to 3 or 4 verses. And once the guitarist has come up with a few riffs, then I can cut and change the words to fit it. So I always know what we're going to sing about. We always know what the point of the song is, perhaps before I've heard the lyrics. I know that other people do it in reverse. Try to hang the words on the riffs, but I kind of in reverse, don't know why. That's how it is. So, I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for listening. Ring the bell, share, like, the usual housekeeping stuff. And thanks for your support. Really is much appreciated. The album's out and we're playing on the 22nd of April in Leeds at the Primrose. Come down. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Have a good time. Thank you.